Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us tonight. I'm going to go find us here on the iPad and get us shared out to our groups. And hopefully everyone will find us. Okay, here it is. And group. And VIP. And team. Okay, we are officially out there and we shall see who's going to come hang out with us. Please go ahead and say hello when you join so we know who's here coming to visit. And let's do our quick housekeeping. So again, we're back to our paper pumpkin. We are now officially in our December subscription period. The holiday months are flying by. We are already mid-November. Before you know it, we'll be having turkeys on the table and Christmas gifts are going to be needed. So December is on the table now. We have from now till December 10th to get in on the December kit. The December kit is a watercolor in bloom. It is a non-holiday kit. You're going to be able to show your love and appreciation with rich watercolor hues and elegant botanical flourishes. This kit will make 9 cards, each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. You'll get copper foil and copper sequins. You'll receive pre-cut paper and vellum pieces, and the coordinating colors will be copper, garden green, night of navy, pretty peacock, secret sea, and shaded spruce. Your ink spot will be night of navy. And it says here, personalize your greeting cards with customizable sentiment stamps. So that sounds like it'll be very interesting. And again, they will coordinate with these add-on dies, the Abundant Joy, which are still available and for subscribers only. Hey, Sue. Hey, Sherry. So glad to see you ladies. Appreciate you jumping on here. All righty. The Advent calendar, the 12 Days of Crafting Advent calendar is still available. Again, this was $99. You got the stamp set to go with it. And then, of course, all the fun product that you find inside these little individual boxes. And the best part about these little boxes, they are reusable. So you could definitely do another Advent with friends or family. And so much fun. All right, tonight we are playing with, I can get it over here. Goodness gracious. There we go. It's the Jolly Delivery Bundle. So you get to this cute stamp set. You have the little flying kitty reindeer, the gift-bearing bear, the little doggy delivering mail, and then, of course, I'm calling that a dog as well. Not really sure what it's supposed to be, but I think we got 2 dogs. And then we have some mail, little footprints, the mailbox, and then some really nice sentiments. We have sending Merry Tidings, Merry Christmas with happy wishes from the North Pole, special delivery from here to there, hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet, and from me to you. Then we have these awesome dies that coordinate, and then there's this little gift package die. I haven't used this yet, but I will be using that soon. And you have different tabs here for closing your little gift envelope. So here's your little slot, and then for the pieces that will come up through the slot and seal your package, you have the star shape, you have a heart shape, you have a circle. And they all, I don't know if you can see this in this video, but all of these little things have little tabs and they fit into these little things here. So you'll be able to customize your closure based on what you're sending your little gift envelope, filling it with. So you can fit the little star in there or the heart or the circle. And then we have our little, I believe those are little paw prints. And then we have a circle. We have our bear with the packages. We have this little dog. Then we have this little dog. We have the flying reindeer kitty, the packages, the mailbox, and this little package here. So lots and lots. Oh, hey, sis. Glad to see you join. So we have lots of options here with this suite of product. Actually, it is a full suite. We have designer series paper that goes with it. So we have this fun paper. Oh, let's see. We have pieces that are actually laser cut and you just pop them out like this. We have a second sheet that has the little critters in there for popping out. And then, of course, we have our little dogs. Let's see if I can't do a better job showing this. So here's our little cars. Backside has our little mail symbols. And then this side here, we have our package bearing bear. We have the owl, some packages, a squirrel. Backside, we have this pretty pool party pattern. Here's our cars. More of the critters. Backside has the mail pattern. This mail has this check pattern. And more of that pool party. And then we have the storefronts. And the backside has all the mailboxes. So really fun patterns in this paper. And we are using this. I will tell you, the class I am shipping out this week for the gift card holders, I can show you 2 of them. I can't show you all 4 designs because my friend Cindy hasn't gotten them to me yet. But they will be shipping her. She'll have them to me by tomorrow. But I will be shipping this class out Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how quick I can get things cut. But here's 2 of the designs. So we have a matchbook style gift card holder. So that pops up there like so. And then we have one made with the envelope. And then, like I said, there's 2 more designs. And you're going to make a total of 8. If you ordered this class, you're going to make 8 gift card holders. 2 each for designs. Hey, Kay, so glad you could join. See you over there on YouTube. Awesome. So happy to see you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me get all my stuff together here. We have our card kits. All right, let me show you what we're making tonight. So we're making 3 really cute cards. So we have this one here. This is Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. And when you open it up, it just says, hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. We have our little paw prints. Isn't that so cute? Our little dog. He's at the mailbox waiting for his Christmas mail from Santa. And then, of course, we have our special delivery. And we did one of those little cut him right out of the designer series paper. I love when Stampin' Up! Does that, where our dies coordinate with the paper. And I went ahead and cut him out. And he's sitting here with a special delivery. And when we open him up, he has this little design here. So that just adds to our fun. I think he's so cute. But I love when our dies coordinate with our paper so we can have more options. And then, of course, this one I used those little pop-outs. Popped out one of those little envelopes. We popped out a little house, and we said from the North Pole. And we have this little card with our pool party. So it's not your typical traditional Christmas colors, but we have Poppy Parade and Pool Party. They seem to go really well together. And it does have a little Christmassy feel there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our first card, which is Poppy Parade and Garden Green. So we have here a Poppy Parade card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead, hold on that score line, and we're just going to go ahead and press that out. So we have a nice, crisp fold. Thanks, sis. I'm glad you like them. Then I have a piece of basic white. This measures 5 by 3 3/4, and that's for the inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to find my garden green ink pad, and I have my inside sentiment, which is hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. And we're going to ink that up. And we're going to stamp that right in the center of our basic white panel here, just like that. Got my chamois here. We'll clean that off. All right. Next, I need my little paw prints. And we're going to ink those up as well. And right down here in the bottom corner, we're putting our little paw prints. Now we can close up our garden green ink pad. I'm going to grab our adhesive, and we can go ahead and add our panel to the front of our inside of our card. So we just want to get that in the center. And again, this measures 5 by 3 3/4. And that goes inside our card like so. So cute. All right. Next, I have a piece of garden green. This is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. I have a piece of the Designer Series paper. This measures 1 1/2 by 5. And that's going to go in the center there. I also have a piece of garden green that measures 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then a piece of the designer paper that is 3 by 4. Okay. And then I have a scrap for my circle die cut. And then I have a 1/2 inch scrap for my sentiment. I'm going to set that up. And I also have a piece of white scrap here for my little mailbox and my little dog. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start layering these pieces together. So we're going to layer this pattern, the 1 1/2 inch by 5 onto our 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So there's that. We can go ahead, add adhesive, and this is going to layer onto our card front with 3 equal borders. So you're just going to get that on there and try to get that on nice and straight with 3 equal borders. So here, here, and here. Okay. Next, we're going to take this little envelope pattern and we're going to layer that onto this garden green piece. Again, the designer paper is 3 inches by 4 inches, and our garden green panel is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So again, center that on here like so. And then we're going to add our adhesive. I kept all this nice and flat because our focal point will be popped up on some dimensional. So now we're just going to take this and we're going to center it on our card. It looks pretty good. Okay. So we have that. Now I need to die cut a circle, and I am using the second largest circle from our Stylish Shapes dies. And we're going to run this through our baby boss. So we need our baby boss. And these are cute cards. And to think I almost didn't even get this sweet. And then Cindy and I talked about our gift card class. And then after, we kind of looked at all the different sets, we decided on this one. And oh, I'm so glad we did, because I have to tell you, I have had a lot of fun with this one, and there's so many more ideas I have for it. Like, I could use this one a lot. I gotta get new plates. My plates are getting so that they actually stick. I gotta get things off them. Okay, so there's our circle. So we're gonna throw that in our trash. And we need dimensionals. And that goes like so. All right, next we have, oh, you can see that on there. Well, I was going to stamp these for you and then just turn it over and cut them out, but I guess my ink bled through. I didn't want to make you have to sit and watch me color this, but what I did is I colored our little dog in pecan pie. I used the light and the dark to do some shading with the dark. And then his scarf I did in the Poppy Parade. Again, light and dark. And then my mailbox, I used Pool Party light and dark. And then for this little square in here, I used some petal pink just to pull out a little of that pink that you can see in the Designer Series paper. There's a little petal pink in there. So that's the color choices I used. So we're going to go ahead and find our dies here. And we will get these cut out. All right, so there's our little dog right here. And our mailbox is here. And we'll need a little bit of Post-it tape. Okay. So we'll go ahead. Get everything all nice and lined up. Okay, I think we got him. And then our mailbox. Maybe he's not so lined up. Waiting on a minute. There we go. And now our mailbox. We'll get that all lined up. Okay. Baby boss back. And run them through. It is cold and blustery here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but here the wind is blowing, the snow is flying, and they're talking about it being 60 degrees on Friday. I'll have to believe that when I see it. There's our mailbox. All right, so we're going to bring this back. And for our little dog, we're going to pop him up with one little dimensional. And he's going to come right here. And then for our mailbox, we're going to grab 2. But I will say, it is not cold in here. That fire's going downstairs and heat does rise 100% because it is like, feels like 100 degrees in here. Well, anyway, all right. So there's our little dog in our mailbox. Now we need our Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. So we just gotta find that one. That ain't it. Here it is. All right, so we have Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. So we need to bring back our Garden Green ink pad. I know, isn't he sweet, Kay? I think he's adorable. He's waiting for the Christmas mail. Okay, there's our Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. I need to bring this down so I can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully I'm not down too far. Okay, there we are. Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. Okay, so for this, I stacked a couple of dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip a couple. So I'll start with this one. That. Pull that backing off, and then I'm going to snip another one. And that one's going to go right on top of that one. And then we're going to add a little adhesive there. And then that's going to just hang off about like so. And then to finish this off, I have these deer dots, they're called. Why, you ask? I have no idea why Stampin' Up! Named them deer dots, DEAR. But they are really cute. And anybody who signed up for this class is getting a full package of these. Take your pick tool. There it is. Because they're so stinking cute. So we're going to put one there. And then one there. And we'll take one of these little ones right there. And that finishes our first card. So, so cute. Like I said, I just think these little characters are adorable. And like I said, there's so many different things you could do, especially having these pop outs. So fun to do. All right, next card. We're going to do our little dog with our garden green. So for that one, we have a garden green card base. This time I cut this one 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish on that score line. Again, that gives us a nice crisp fold. Then I have, for the inside, I have a piece of Very Vanilla. This measures 5 by 3 3/4. It's just kind of the size I went with today. I just found it to be just a fun look to go with a smaller. Typically, we cut our insides 5 1/4 by 4. But I thought that a little bit of a smaller with a little bit of more of a border on the inside was just kind of fun today. So that's what I did. So before we stick this on the inside, I'm going to go ahead and find my little stamp. And we're going to go ahead and take our Poppy Parade and stamp this down here in the lower right corner. It just gives us a little visual interest on the inside of our card. You could, of course, add that inside sentiment that we used earlier. This is the hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. It certainly would work. But I left it plain so I can write whatever I want on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And this will go to the inside of our card. It's fun to just play with the inside layer piece to change up the sizing of it. Like I said, typically we would just go with a 4 by 5 1/4, but feel free to change up that size, go a little bit smaller so you have a bigger border. Use a shaped die to put in there, like a nice large oval would be cute in there. Any other type of label type die that would be enough room for you to still write what you needed to write, but give you that little visual interest in there with a little something, something. All right, next, I cut 3 pieces of Designer Series paper, 1 inch by 5. Yeah, 1 by 5. I had to think for a minute. So these are 1 inch by 5 inch. And then I have some Very Vanilla pieces that are 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So those are 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And we will go ahead. I wanted to just make sure. Not that this means anything. You do not have to do this. But if you do have a pattern, sometimes it's fun to line everything up. But I don't. No. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's. There we go. Now I got it all put back together. So now when I put it on my card base, you see the pattern. It's kind of neat to do that. All right. My goodness. That wind is terrible out there. I'm starting to feel like I may end up in Kansas before this night is over. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and adhere all of our strips together. So there's strip number 1. Here comes strip number 2. Okay. And strip number 3. Okay. Next, we're going to layer these onto our card base. Now, I like to do it the 2 end pieces, and then I'll put my center piece in. So we're going to start here. And again, trying to get those 3 equal borders. And this end piece. And then the center. Oh, have a great night, Sue. Thanks for stopping by. All right, and then there is our final piece for the center right there. So we now have our card base complete. I did go ahead and cut out a square from our Stylish Shapes dies. And again, I used the largest square shape to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals. So I need my dimensionals and my snips because I am down to my little end pieces here. No waste when it comes to our dimensionals. Every bit of it is useful. There we go. And one more. Go. Peel these backings off. Okay. And then this is going to go right on the center, like so. All right. Next, I cut out the chunk of designer paper I needed ahead of time, so I wouldn't be looking for it. And then we just need our little dog. And we're going to get him lined up. And again, like I said, I love when Stampin' Up! Does this. They make dies or in designer series paper that coordinate. So this just saves having to do any coloring. You have the professional look of the coloring from the artist. that made the paper. Just have to fuss just a smidge to get this all lined up nicely. There we go. So that's all nicely lined. We need our baby boss. It's so cute. Peel off our tape. Look at him. He's so adorable. Okay, so next we also have a 1/2 inch scrap of designer, very vanilla. And I have my special delivery. And we have our happy parade. So we match his sweater. We're going to bring this down so I can see what I'm doing here. Special delivery. That's a little crooked. Let's try that one more time. A little better. Close that up. Snips. And we're just going to snip that end. Snip that end. What the heck did I do? Well, when I snipped, I used the crooked end side. That's all right. That's fine. We'll make it work. All right. So then we're just going to add dimensionals. So he's going to go right there. And our sentiment is going to go right there. And then we bring back our dear dots. And what did I put? Take your pick. And I used green and a poppy parade and a little green. And there is our little special delivery dog. I think he's cute. Okay, now for this one, I used a thick basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. So we're going to go ahead, fold on that score line, and of course use our bone folder to burnish that out for a nice crisp edge. There we go. Then I have a piece of Pool Party. This measures 4 by 5.25, and that is to center on our card base. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. Like so. Then I cut some designer series paper, 2 inches square, 3 pieces. So I have 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go ahead, and the first 2 we're going to put nice and flat. So it goes like so. And then we need a second one. Looks pretty good. And then the third one we're going to pop up. Okay. Oop. Those peeled off. And that looks pretty good. So there's our 3 squares labeled on there. All right, next up, I popped out of the laser cut pieces that are already pre-cut for us. So we just pop them out. I have a little storefront. And then there wasn't any more of these. There was only one of these envelopes. There's only one of these envelopes. So I couldn't do this identical, but I picked out another envelope that I liked. And we're going to put that on right there. Some of the pop-ups or pop out, you only get one. Some things there's multiples of, others not so much. But that's okay. Thanks, sis. Glad you like them. I think they're cute. So we're going to put this little envelope here. And he's going to go like that. And then our cute little house, which I think is adorable. Storefront, house, storefront. It can be whatever you want it to be. So we're just going to stick our little Christmas land here. There we go. And then I have a little 2-inch by 1/2-inch piece of basic white. If I can get it out of here. There we go. And that is from the North Pole. We need our Poppy Parade. And we're just going to ink this up. Get this low enough for me to see in you too. All right. So now we're just going to try to hit the center. Not too shabby. Okay, so now, again, with the dimensionals, I hope these are small enough. Yes, they are. Okay. One at this end. There we go. And then this is going to go right there. And then we're going to grab these dear dots again. And there's our final card. Are they not the cutest little things? I love these. I think they ended up being really cute. I love that we have lots of options with this because, again, we have the designer series paper that you can die cut. You have the little pre-cut pieces that you can pop out. Then, of course, there's the stamps that you can stamp and color all day long. It's all in what you're in the mood for. All right, so we'll do a real quick recap. So there's our third card. There's card number 2. And there was our first card right here. Oh, thank you, sis. Yes, Kay, definitely perfect for the pet lovers. 100%. 100%. Well, that's all I have for you tonight, guys. Thank you again very much for coming to hang out with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I wish you all a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And God willing, I will be back next week. Before I let you go, though, Friday is the monthly stamp, or I shouldn't say stamp, it's craft and chat. You can come do whatever craft project you have going on. You can crochet, you can knit, you can stamp, you can grab a kit that you have that's not finished, whatever you want to do. If you're a quilter, whatever, just come hang out. I will be posting the butter link. Again, you don't have to have any apps on your device. You can join from your phone, an iPad, computer, whatever you have. That has a camera and a mic, and you can just come hang out with me and a few friends, and we will just do some crafting, chatting, and just having some fun on Friday evening. It starts at 7. We'll go till 9. So I do want to invite you. You'll start seeing some posts this week about that. But just to give you the heads up, that is this week. Again, it's the Craft and Chat, and it's a lot of fun. We just kind of hang out. You can be in your pajamas, get your hot cocoa, your coffee, decaf before bed. Glass of wine. Wine is welcome. Just come have some fun, and yeah, that will be Friday. So hopefully I will see you Friday. If I don't see you on Friday, I will see you on Sunday for some more crafty fun. We will not be live the weekend after Thanksgiving, however. I'm taking that weekend off. It is a busy time for everybody, so I figured we'll just take that weekend completely off. I do, however, have a Black Friday special that I will be telling you more about. I'll tell you more about it next week, but there will be a Black Friday special running from Friday to Monday. So we'll capture that Cyber Monday as well. So Black Friday through Cyber Monday, I will have a little special going. But again, more details to follow, and I will fill you all in on that very soon. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your week. And until then, bye for now.